Well, the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch has been announced for Saudi Arabia. Not all the details are available, but we're going to talk about what is available. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego in the back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Matchroom, let's jump right into it. They announced the fight. The rematch is, over the line, according to them. And they're calling it the Clash on the Dunes. Ruiz versus Joshua 2 heavyweight championship of the world. December 7th, 2019 in Saudi Arabia. But it doesn't have any logos like DAZN. It does show Sky Sports. It's likely to land on DAZN from what I'm hearing. And that's it. They're going to do it in Saudi Arabia. Here's a write-up from Sky Sports, who's going to broadcast it in the UK. Ruiz versus Joshua, Saudi Arabia to host the world heavyweight title fight December 7th. Ruiz stunned Joshua to capture his IBF, WBA, WBO titles in the biggest heavyweight upsets of all time. That's a little bit much, especially with Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas in Tokyo. But whatever. Of all time, Madison Square Garden. See, I just can't accept that as a real boxing fan. That's not the biggest upset of all time. You know what I'm saying? Joshua wasn't even proven. He hadn't fought Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. He fought a 41-year-old Klitschko almost off a 2-year layoff, and he was coming off an embarrassing loss to Tyson Fury. So that's where you guys in the media and the fans propelled Joshua to heights he hadn't quite reached yet. He's a good fighter, but they listed him as if, he was this Lennox Lewis and had the resume of a Lennox Lewis. That's not the case, but whatever. In doing so, the Destroyer created history, becoming the first boxer of Mexican heritage to be crowned a heavyweight champion. California-based Mexican, headed to the second world title shot as a huge underdog, and blah, 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 Uninterested in the low-key comeback, the 2012 gold medalist will jump into an immediate rematch with Ruiz on neutral ground as he looks to reclaim his position as the #1 heavyweight. He's definitely not that. And continue on his journey to become undisputed king. So that's the skinny of it, mate. My thoughts, I'm not really ecstatic on the location. Shout out to Saudi Arabia. Nothing against them. But first of all, I heard they are putting up a large sum of money, close to 100 million. I heard it's like 85 million or something. So, they got bread. That's a given, But I'm not ecstatic on the location. I feel it's trending, which is, that's cool. I'm not ecstatic on the location because I feel like, I don't know who's running the show, like shot caller at DAZN, but they have some weird, decisions being made, in my opinion. Like, they took a fight that now everyone should be paying attention. See, the first things first, DAZN, when they held the first fight, a lot of people outside of myself didn't even expect this to be competitive. I did the 7 reasons and let you know. I'm like, man, people are sleeping on Andy Ruiz. I hope Joshua ain't sleeping on him. I hope he's not under us. I told y'all, I gassed y'all up and warmed you up for what was to come. But not many people felt that way. A lot of people thought Joshua was going to go in and blow him out. And then in the third round, it looked like those people who felt that, it looked like their theories were going to come true. But even being hurt after Ruiz got floored and dropped, he got back up. And that's where it got shifty for Joshua, because he was throwing punches back, etc. But putting this fight in Saudi Arabia, I just feel, to me, it's kind of a location that not everyone that you're used to seeing cover boxing is going to be able to get to. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a whole ass passport, and I don't know how much it costs to even travel to Saudi Arabia. So I don't know if I'm going to this fight, I mean, it depends. I might, but I don't know. Then the other thing, you have to understand that Saudi Arabia It's just a different place. They have different rules and, you know, different sections and whatnot. Like no gays and women's rights aren't the same over there. So people who, like, let's say there's female channels in this YouTube stratosphere. Are they going to be able to cover the fight and, you know, be holding the camera and conducting interviews? I don't know. You know, I'd have to brush up on, because I know some of the rules and stuff have changed. Hold on. I just seen something in Saudi Arabia, I believe, with the airports. I just read an article, but I don't want to. Look. I'm telling you, it's a different place. CNN, you know, credible CNN. This, updated August 2nd, 2019. This is the article I seen. Saudi Arabian women finally allowed to hold passports and travel independently. See, this is the exact article I read. It had this picture. So you got to look at the date. You know, it's different rules. August 2nd, 2019. Saudi Arabian women finally allowed to hold passports and travel independently. Previously, that wasn't the case over there. Women in Saudi Arabia will finally be allowed to hold passports and travel abroad without the consent of a male guardian. You had to have a male guardian. A policy shift that marks a significant loosening of the kingdom's notorious restrictions on women. You know, so that is one thing. Certain, you know, I'm not going to start name dropping a bunch of people, but there's certain channels that cover boxing that are ran by women, or one of the spokespeople are female. So I don't know how that's going to be. You know, just in terms of getting to that, I don't know. Who the fuck made this, bro? So it said, can't wait to hear Sweet Caroline in Saudi. That's funny as fuck. Hey, shout out to Ash. That shit is funny. They got hell no. They got Eddie Hearn looking like Iron Sheik and shit, bro. What the fuck is Hogan at it? Anyway, aside from like women's rights and stuff like that. Oh, here's another thing. Shout out to Mike Coppinger, The Athletic. Sources, it's possible DAZN will pay as much as 8 figures less for the rights to stream Ruiz Joshua 2, with it landing in the Middle East rather than its preferred destination of New York or even the UK. Because again, this is not prime time definitely for America. I just looked at it. My time, I live in California. My time, it was 12:58 p.m. So afternoon. And in Saudi, in that region, it's 10:58 p.m. So I don't know what time. I don't know the deets. I don't know what time they're scheduling the fight, but that's a significant difference. Again, I'm in California, and it was 12:58 p.m. and in Saudi it was 10:58 p.m. So that's quite that's even later than the UK. So I don't know. Okay, it says sources tell Athletic that Eddie Hearn secured a site fee in excess of $40 million to bring. I heard it was more, but you know, whatever. Let's say it's $40 million. Ruiz's purse was set in the rematch clause, a fixed guarantee, so he won't see any of that money, but he does get his neutral site. Oh, that's fucked up. You know, they said he's gonna get $9 million, and it's a guaranteed amount. So Eddie Hearn gets to pocket the rest. Man, I hope Andy Ruiz go in there and wreck shop, bro. That's fucked up. So, wow. So he don't even get a split of the money, and it's man, I really don't like this now. You know, Eddie Hearn gets $40 million. They're saying for the site fee deal. Plus, DAZN's going to put up some money, but they're going to pay less because it's not during the optimum time, right? And then Andy Ruiz only gets $9 million, that's good money. But at the same time, DAZN's paying Triple G $18 million to fight Steve Rolls. So it could be a lot greater. But I guess because they gave him the opportunity, that's supposed to be good for him. That's fucked up. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling filling the location. I just feel like there's a lot of things. The other thing is the venue. They said the venue holds 6,000 to 7,000. This is the StubHub does that. So I feel like whoever, I don't know, man. Like this is just weird. I understand getting a lot of money, as like money, out the thing, but they're not making it opportune for a lot of boxing fans. Why would you put a fight like this that I feel is now big in a venue that holds 6,000 to 7,000? 6,000 to 7,000 people? That's like putting it at the StubHub. Nobody would in their right mind put Pacquiao Thurman or Mayweather Pacquiao at the StubHub. No disrespect to them. It's not a venue that would capture that type of fight. So to take a fight this big and then put it somewhere so far from the original markets, I understand neutral ground and all that, but the other part to that is this: Joshua said he'll fight Andy Ruiz in Tijuana and let his uncle be the ref. So the lie detector test determined that was a lie, because he clearly wanted the neutral ground. He said he wanted to, and this is not me. This is not ego said this, and I'm just, bumping my gums. Andy Ruiz said Mexico or the U.S. Joshua said he wanted to fight in the U.S. He says he has a vlog. It's on his channel. It's on Anthony Joshua's YouTube channel. He did a vlog. He's like, my loss, from my perspective, why I lost. And he's explaining with this Lifetime movie music going on in the background and stuff. And he said he wants to go back to the scene of the crime. So these things weren't true. The other issue I have personally with this is this fight, the date, the time. It's not an optimum time because of the time zone jump that they are. But it also has to compete with the NCAA championship games. So I don't know who's calling the strings or pulling the strings in the zone, but they're not doing what I feel would be optimum to secure subscribers for America. A site fee to put this in Saudi Arabia is cool, but it aside from just the immediate money, it doesn't put it at a optimum time. Again, you have to compete with the NCAA championship games. You have to do the SEC and the ACC games will be on here. I pulled it up on CBS and Fox around those same time. Look, December 7th, SEC championship games. So that's going to be prime time CBS. And then they have other games that Fox is getting. This is a big deal in terms of sports. So why would you want to compete with something like that? Plus put it, you took what started off as American fight, but now because they don't want to lose and they don't want to come back to America, you're putting it in Saudi Arabia because they're offering a lot of money, but the rest of it is making it it's going to be harder for channels to get, to travel and different people. So who's going to really be covering this fight? I don't know. I haven't even looked into Saudi Arabia, like hotels or flights, to see how much anything like that would cost. But who's going to be promoting this fight? It's going to be on at a weird time. You're competing with the NCAA championship game. Just really weird move, man. Ruiz, if he go in there and ruin Joshua on neutral ground, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be done for that. So I just feel like this is like almost like a cash grab in the event that Joshua loses. We'll at least get a lot of money, but I'm not really thrilled about the location, especially with what Joshua said. He said he'll fight him in Mexico and he wants to go to the scene of the crime. I really feel like if AJ really wanted to answer questions, he would have fought where he lost, where he looked spooked, where he looked all scared. And, they could say whatever they want. Oh, he was not panic stricken. He didn't have a panic attack. My dad was mad at Eddie Hearn over the chef. But if you really want to answer those questions, go back to America or Mexico, where you would really be out of your comfort zone, and show us that you didn't have that. But to try to force this to, have this tug of war and force it to go to neutral ground to some place that's more obscure, that's not really known for hosting big fights. Yeah, we heard about big fights like Amir Khan and Pacquiao could come, but we don't really see many fights. It's similar to when Pacquiao fought Lucas Matisse. He fought him in Malaysia. That wasn't a big fight just because of, like I said, this is not prime time hours. This is not prime time hours for you just have to look what you're competing at, but it's not likely to be on the prime time. This is why DAZN wants to pay less, you know, like the shoe source. This is why they want to pay less, because they know it's not coming on at a time that they would prefer. Where is it? Look, DAZN viewed Ruiz Joshua 2 as a major subscription driver in the U.S. Heavyweight title fight rematch will still bring plenty of new subscribers, but it's likely the fight will go head to head. See, with the S, he's saying the same thing. I didn't even see this tweet from him. You know, and they're willing to pay as much as 8 figures less for the rights because they know it's not coming on at a time that really benefits them expanding and expounding upon their American platform. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.